You've probably seen you've probably seen the new headlines about Wegovy, Ozempic, and Mounjaro. People just regain the weight when they stop. Do these drugs even work? It sounds like the drug stopped working. Before you accept that story, I want you to think about something very familiar: blood pressure tablets. I'm Dr. Ho in Brisbane. In this No Hype Health Talk episode, I want to do three things. First, explain in plain English what research actually shows about weight gain. Second, give you a simple satiety or fullness dial picture to make sense of it. Satiety is the feeling of fullness or satisfaction when you eat. And third, show you how to think about these medicines as ongoing support, not a magic cure, so you are not blindsided if you ever stop taking them. And last, what you can actually do about it. By the end of this video, you will understand why the weight comes back story sounds a little misleading in headlines, and how and what you need to consider when stopping the medication. It looks very different when you see the full picture. Let's start with the research. Across different studies, the pattern is quite consistent. People lose weight while they're on GLP-1 medicines, Wegovy, Ozempic, and Mounjaro. When treatment stops, they do not bounce back straight away to their old weight, but they regain it steadily. Not everyone, but quite a few. The regain averages about half a kilogram per month after stopping treatment. And with some newer ones, it can be closer to almost a kilogram per month. Blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol after stopping GLP-1 medications also drift back toward baseline over a similar time frame. Now, come back to that familiar comparison: blood pressure tablets. While you take them, your numbers improve. When you stop, they go back up. We don't think of that as a failure. We say the medicine worked while it was on board. So GLP-1 weight loss medicines behave in a similar way. They are not once-off resets. Let me give you the satiety dial analogy. Think of your satiety signal, the feeling of fullness when you eat, like a sound volume. So for some people, the fullness signal is too soft. The voice in your brain keeps saying, I'm not yet full. I'm not yet full. GLP-1 medications turn that volume up while you're on them. And when you stop, the volume tends to drift back towards the noise where it was. That signal is controlled by a network of gut and brain signals. GLP-1 is one of the important hormones that we have, that you have, but not the only one, alongside other hormones and brain pathways that influence hunger, fullness, and reward. Some people have that natural dial set fairly high from the start, so they get full quickly and leave food on the plate without even thinking about it. Others live with their natural dial set low, so the sound is noisy. I'm not full, they keep hearing. They do feel full, but the signal is softer and easier to override in a world of large portions and ultra processed food that taste delectable. GLP-1 analogs like semaglutide, Ozempic, and Wegovy, and tirzepatide, which is Mounjaro, they turn the satiety dial up. While you're on them, you reach fullness sooner. Food noise softens. Lower portions feel more natural. Over months, weight and metabolic markers like blood sugar level, cholesterol, and blood pressure usually improve. Now keep that picture in mind because we'll use it to understand weight regain situation. What the British Medical Journal analysis and other trials are describing is what happens when you turn off that extra support. When the drug stops, the dial drifts back toward your old baseline. The noise increases. You still have your own GLP-1 signals, but you have removed the extra support. Appetite rises, eating creeps up, and weight follows. Cardiometabolic markers such as blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol also move back to it where they started within about 1 and 1.5 years when you're off the treatment. That feels uncomfortable, especially if you've worked very hard to lose that weight. But biologically, it's exactly what we would expect when we remove a long term support in a long term condition, a long term situation. Partly from how the story is told, weight comes back after the drug is stopped. Easily becomes a story that says the drug fails in the long term. But the key phrase is after the drug is stopped. Another part is how we think about responsibility. When weight returns, we often blame the person. No willpower, or we blame the drug. Or the drug failed. It failed me. Both ignore the simple reality that your satiety system has probably been running at that old setting for decades. Expecting it to hold at a brand new line forever after a short course is optimistic. And this is where the relevant comparison helps. Think about blood pressure or blood sugar treatment. When the medicine is on board, things improve. If you stop it, the old pattern often returns. We do not call that failure. We call that biology. So, how should we think about GLP-1 medicines in real life? First, think in years, not weeks. Obesity and insulin resistance usually build slowly. These drugs make more sense as long term tools, or tools you may return to, or rather than just quick fixes that permanently reset weight after a few months. Second, think of the medicine as a top up to your own satiety signal. While you're taking it, the dial is turned up, the noise is turned down. You feel full faster, eating less becomes easier. That is the time to build what comes next. More real food at home, fewer ultra processed snacks, walking that fits your lifestyle, and simple strength workout that protects muscle. Those habits are the support you build for later. If the dose of the GLP-1 medication comes down or the medicine stops, you have a new set of habits that you can live into the future. Third, expect some regain if you stop. The real question is not, will I go back exactly to where I was before? The better questions are, how much regain am I comfortable with? What level can I realistically support with lifestyle alone, the new habits that I have established now? Some regain is not failure. A complete boomerang back to the starting point may simply mean that the course was too short, or the supports around you were too thin, and you reverted back to your old habits. Finally, keep away from the extremes. These drugs are powerful, and many people, it is life changing. They also carry side effects, costs, and the unknowns, and they deserve long term follow up. They are neither miracle cures nor scams. They are tools, tools that need context and clear expectations, clear understanding, and also clear to what to do next. So now you have three pieces I promised you at the start. What research actually shows about weight regain, how satiety signal works, the dial, the noise. Third, how to frame these medicines as support, not as a one-time cure. On this channel, my aim is to keep discussion grounded. GLP-1 medicines turn up a satiety signal that was not strong enough for you. When the extra signal is removed, our old physiology reappears. Between those two realities is the space where healthier eating habits and better long term decisions are built. If this helped you see past the headlines, you might find the other episodes in my Ozempic and Mounjaro playlist useful as well, especially the ones on side effects, shortages, and class warnings. And if you ever stopped one of these medicines, I would genuinely like to hear what changed for you. Hunger, weight, blood tests, or mood? Share a sentence below. I read every comment. Thank you for listening.